We're looking across 10 million sites on the web to try to provide an instantaneous view of any topic at any given time. So I'm going to walk through a couple demos, and I'm happy to talk to anybody later. The way the company is, we're really early. We've been at this about a year, and we've built some amazing infrastructure just getting into products. First thing you'll see, this is Collecta.com. Collecta.com is an amazing site because you come in, you search, and you can see anything you want to see right now. Also, we've got trends that show you what's going on the topics that are trending at any given moment. Obviously, things like Haiti, iPad, State of the Union are the things that are hot right now. It's magic up there. Brian Zisk is driving for us. Also, if you want to talk to somebody else, Brian is a founder. What you'll see here is that you can do a search on pretty much anything. So if you click in on iPad, what that'll give you is a stream across everything of what's happening right now. Now, left side, saved searches. Center side, that's where the streaming happens. And what you'll see is that column moves. And it's moving as things are published across the web. We get most everything within a split second of when it's published, and we show it to users within that period of time. So when you see something here, it's not echoing back in the web. It's not happening yesterday, and it's not happening 5 minutes ago. It's happening right now. Over on the right-hand side, to give you the ability to scan really quickly, you can see what you want by previewing. So that takes you into Twitter or wherever that link happens to be from. That's exciting, and it's good. We've had that up since about June, but what we're doing now is we've broken that out. It's not just about building a destination site. The web now is about being distributed, being out where everybody else is. So we've built a widget platform. We launched this widget just a couple days ago. What we've done with that is take Collecta and jam-pack it down into an individual little widget that you can grab the iframe. If you're a publisher, you go in, you put in your term, twist up, two I's, one S. Okay, so you can go in, you go to this really simple configurator, build a widget, click the button, and now what you'll see, if you can scroll down just a little bit, what you'll see is everything that's flowing through those 10 million sites happening right now on the web can be flowing through that widget on your site. Grab that little chunk of code, throw it in. We've got a WordPress widget as well. Anybody who's used to dealing with iframes can do this. I did it, and I'm a non-technical person. I did it in 5 minutes on my blog. So now what you can do is increase your engagement on your site, increase the ability for people to find great stuff related to anything. If you're an event organizer, you want everybody to have this out there on their site. If you're a publisher wanting to recirculate people to your site, you do a search for things that are related to what you're doing on your site, whatever the topic is, Obama, State of the Union, doesn't matter, we've got it all. Sports, entertainment, all kinds of stuff, lots of technology. The next thing is, if you're an application developer, we've got essentially a full feed of the internet, everything that's taking place. So just like people are clamoring to get a Twitter feed, Twitter is between 25 and 40 million messages a day. Marissa Mayer of Google has been quoted as saying the rest of the web is somewhere around 1 billion pages being created every day or pieces of content. We're aiming for the gap in between there. We include Twitter, and we're going for the rest of the web. So if you want to build a product, if you want to include the rest of the web in real time in your product, what you would do is you would come, hit our API, and bring that stuff in, and it's all completely relevant to what you're doing. We can apply this technology not just to the rest of the web. I want to give a shout out to the MySpace folks. Mike Jones and his team have been really great in working with them. So what we did was take their feed and then build a completely unique MySpace site on top of that. So this is myspace.collecta.com. You can search just within MySpace, see what's going on. Fantastic community. If you search for things like happy, what you'll see is a huge volume of people expressing emotion. The MySpace community is fantastic. We can do this with anything. We turned on a site search for another social network literally in 2 days. Took a huge volume of data, jam-packed it into a feed and into an interface. So a lot of amazing things. We can do a lot of great stuff. And excited to be here and tell you all about it.
So with that, questions from the audience? No.
Revenue stream, we're early. We're just getting distribution. So we're on 2,000 sites with our widget since 3 days ago. So we're just at the stage where we're starting to scale. Business model, I personally ran search for about 5 years at AOL and generated several $1 billion in revenue. So I'm pretty excited about applying what I know about search to this. Simple advertising model through distribution through a network. It's kind of tried and true. There are some opportunities to use time as a lever to help people get further down the transaction funnel and use that as a way to encourage actions, clicks, transactions, that kind of stuff. So a lot of good stuff coming, business models, advertising, and it's going to come with scale, and we're on our way.
All right, well, let's move it up to the judges for a minute. What do you guys think?
I think it's interesting. We've looked at a lot of things in the real-time web. The one thing I want to get more clarity on is what's just the great use case of this application? Is this for bloggers who want to say, hey, I'm speaking at Twist Up today, and therefore I'm going to have a widget there? Is it across social media tracking of everybody that's happy? And what's the kind of killer use case that you see the gotta have moment?
Yeah, fantastic. So the killer use case is somebody who's looking for the hottest information right now. Obviously, there are areas of finance, areas of brand tracking. If you want to know what's going on with your brand, you'd want to use this. Those aren't consumer cases, though. The consumer case is when you want to know what's happening with an event. If you want to stay on top of the latest news with respect to Haiti.
So is it more of an enterprise tool? Or are you going to see this as a brand manager's Yammer meets Quantcast type thing?
Not at all. We have the ability to power that stuff, and it's interesting. We're having talks with those people, but the future of our business is in providing consumers a view into what's happening right now on the web. Just like people love Twitter search for finding out what's going on within social networks, you can use Collecta to find out what's going on the rest of the web. And it makes a big difference if you're watching sports and trying to keep on top of what's happening, all of the color around the big Vikings game, right? If you're trying to stay on top of all of the information with a topic, the Lost premiere is a perfect example. We've seen a ton of traffic, people searching for the lead up to the Lost season premiere, and what we've got is a widget that we're putting out there, people are starting to install on their pages, and what we've seen is the user behavior model is people will actually sit with their computer open and watch and see the rest of the story as an event takes place. State of the Union address, we got hammered. Apple product release yesterday, we got hammered. We had a peak day never like before when the Hope for Haiti concert was on, because people were sitting watching all of the expression of emotion, all of the richness that takes place with all of the rest of the web, not just in a single social network, with respect to things that are happening right now.
Jerry, can I ask 3 quick questions?
Sure.
Number 1, do you or your team have any background that makes you uniquely qualified to do this? Number 2, how do you compete against, or how are you positioned against people like One Riot and other search people? Number 3, what about the deals that Twitter and Facebook have done with Bing and Google, and how does that affect your business?
Okay, I'll answer those really quickly. So first, uniqueness. This team, I've got the business side. I've run some of the biggest searches out there. I worked at Alta Vista for a while. I ran technologies at Reuters. So I've got the finance, the business, all that experience. Our team, the technology team, has been in streaming data delivery for 10 years, has sold companies related to this in the world of streaming gaming, streaming audio delivery, that kind of thing. So the team has unbeatable expertise in the underlying technologies. What was your second question?
Oh, I was asking about competition, One Riot, and so on and forth, and then also about the deals that Facebook and Twitter did with Bing and Google and how that affects this.
Sure, thanks, Mark. So why we're different, nobody else is looking at the web in real time. There are a lot of companies calling themselves real-time search, and what they're doing is providing a timely window, mostly focused on Twitter as the data source, and so we're focused outside on the rest of the web, not just on shared links. And then our ability to provide a streaming timeline of what's happening right now is 100% unique. And the deals and what's going on out there, this is different than anything else. I'm very excited. I jumped up and down when, not literally, but emotionally, when those deals were done with Twitter for the data set, because to me that validated the fact that users were actually driving for real-time information. I was actually involved in the creation of the company that Twitter acquired to do search, so I know that game. I'm really excited about where they're going, and Collecta sits in a different spot. We sit in the spot, we're taking the entire web and feeding it out, and what you see in all of the implementations on the other sites is they're taking a different approach, which is giving you a summary of what's going on. We're giving the ability, just like live music, to experience it as it happens.
Okay, I have one real quick. So if you're going with de facto search on Google, the Google cache obviously is one of their more popular features. I mean, that would seem to be very good for them since it's increasing their click-throughs and stuff, but it's also sort of contrary to what you're doing since you're so real-time. Like, are you going to think about dealing with any historical data, or are you just going to stay completely focused on the now?
We are 100% focused on the now. The way we think about it is the web is a stream of activity that's taking place right now. And we keep a trail of that, so if you come in and search for something, we will show you what happened up to a 90-day window. But the idea of Collecta and the idea that makes us so different is we really are only about the now. It's here, and essentially it evaporates relatively quickly. We're all about that.
All right, guys, time to wrap it up. Is there any other quick points from the judges? Yes?
Thanks for the opportunity.
Great, thank you so much.